Hi everyone, it's Miss Kate again, and today I want to teach you guys about forming rectangles by tiling with unit squares to make arrays. I do have some vocabulary I want to review with you guys. The first one is square unit. Now a square unit is a square with sides that measure to 1 unit, and they're used to measure area. So if you look at our example, you can see that the first square I have is 1 inch by 1 inch. So it's 1 inch squared. The next example is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, so it's 1 centimeter squared. And the last one is 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter, which would make it 1 millimeter squared. The next vocabulary word I want to review with you guys is area. Area is the number of square units it takes to cover a surface. So if you look at our example, you can see the area of this rectangle is 8 square units because we have 4 square units on top and 4 square units on the bottom. The last vocabulary word I want to go over with you guys is array. An array is an arrangement of a set of numbers or objects in rows and columns. So for our example, we're going to break this array into rows and columns. So first we have 2 rows, so I split the circles in half by drawing a line through the middle of the 2 rows of red circles. Next, I drew a line in between each circle showing there are 4 columns. So if we count up how many circles we have in our rows and columns, we can say that our array has an area of 8. A much easier way you could find the area of this array is multiplying the 2 rows by the 4 columns. So for our first example, we have our array's area as 18 square centimeters, and we're given one of the side lengths of our array as 3 centimeters squared. So we need to find out what times 3 is going to get us to 18. And an easier way to do that would be to count how many square units are in one of the rows. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square units, or square centimeters since we know what unit we're using. And 6 times 3 does give us 18, so we can fill in our multiplication sentence with 6 squared, and we can fill in the rest of our array model with 6 squared. So our next example is very similar, except our array's area is 24 square centimeters, and one of our side lengths is 4 centimeters squared. So we're looking for what times 4 is going to give us 24. And again, we can count how many square units or square centimeters are in one of our rows in our array to do this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 times 4 does give us 24, so we can fill in our multiplication sentence with 6 squared and our array with 6 squared. Now I know this isn't fun and you guys are probably not happy to see this, but our last example is a word problem, so let's get started. Our word problem today is Lindsay makes a rectangle with 35 square inch tiles. She arranges the tiles in 5 equal rows. What are the side lengths of the rectangle? So we can start by making one of those multiplication sentences that we had in our other examples. So just like our other examples, we are given some information that we can use to fill in this multiplication sentence. So the first thing that we're given is that there are 5 equal rows. And we also know that our rectangle is going to have 35 square inch tiles. So now we're back to the same question we had in our other examples. What times 5 is going to give us 35? And we can draw an array to help us find this answer. Since we're only given the 5 rows in the problem, I would like you guys to divide 35 by 5 to see what times 5 will give you 35. So if you did your math right, 35 divided by 5 should give you 7. And that would mean that 5 times 7 is going to give us 35. So we need to draw 7 rows and fill in our multiplication sentence and our array. Okay, so once we've drawn our rows and columns, we can see that 5 times 7 is going to give us 35. So our array has an area of 35 square inches. I hope you guys enjoyed today's math lesson. I look forward to seeing you guys again.